Agatin chitap kalenjin eng wit tugul ole imite itagat eng tetutieng'ung nebo Kass Mashinani asikobit kegusi kong tuguk chetesetai eng kebeberwek cheterterchin moswek chebo gaa ak olibo Nairobi. Kainenyu ko Chesankaro Sirma. Kitaune logoiwechutok ole tesetai terchinet kotinygei ak namunetab rabisiek chebo legutab NGCDF. Ole kamwa nebo ng'echeret eng board nenamu legunotok bo NGCDF Olago Olwoch kole kikoib walet neo mising rabisiek chotok bo NGCDF ako notok komanyolu keisto anan ketesyi polatet. Kong'ololi eng county nebo Baringo ole kamwa kole mochei governors keisto rabisiek chotok ole kale komastanywa komwa MP nebo Baringo North Joseph Makilap ak MP nebo Baringo Central Joshua Kandie kole maiyani MPs chebo emoni keisto legunotok bo NGCDF.
Juzi mlisikia ya kwamba High Court ilitoa judgment at CDF must stop operations June next year. Mlisikia hiyo? I want to tell you that judgment was not based on law, and I can tell you that as a lawyer. That judgment was greatly influenced by the Council of Governors. Kwa sababu Council of Governors wanaona kama wajumbe wanapatia hawa competition kwa sababu ya CDF.
Kazi ya CDF inaonekana katika taifa ya Kenya, na hata wale machachi ya Supreme Court na wale ya Court of Appeal washaelewa sasa CDF kumbe sio sisi wabunge tuna manage, inamanechiwa na board, inamanechiwa na committee yetu ya NGCDF. Sisi tunafanya oversight, sisi sio accountant, sisi sio watu ya kutumia hiyo pesa. We play our role as parliament as oversight. But we want to assure you, as long as we are members of parliament in this country and we are lawmakers, we shall ensure CDF is there to stay for generations, and our president supports that cause.
They can increase our CDF, because if CDF is seen everywhere, sini afadhali hata tukate kidogo hii ya county government ikuje kwa CDF. Nyinyi mnakubali wananchi tukate?
Ketesetai ko tetat keyat kopkiyok chelelach chebo emoni eng emotinwek chebo Denmark, Vatican City ak Vietnam. Ole kamwa minister nebo tilyandit emotinwekab sang Musalia Mudavadi kole wendi tetutyonotok koroptoi tilyandit notok nebo Kenya ak emotinwek chotok wendi kokonoptoi tilyandit nebo emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chotok. Ng'ololi eng tuyet notok nebo kiyokik chelelach chekokilewen koba kobois eng emotinwek cheterterchin, komwa Mudavadi kole tindoi maket serikali kokimit tilyandit ak emotinwekab sang asikotoret biikab emoni eng nyorunetab boisionik.
Cabinet has approved 3 more missions, Denmark, and then Vietnam, and the Vatican. So this will be the first time in our 60 years that the Vatican, Kenya will now have a mission in the Vatican. We have always operated from France, but the realities now are that the situation calls for a different approach. We all know the footprint of the Catholic faith. There are about 1.4 billion Catholics globally, and it's no longer the Holy See cannot be looked at just from a religious lens as in the past. I think we need to look at it more broadly as a critical influencer of global affairs. The issue that is now also hitting us very hard is the pressure of unemployment is generating fertile ground for mischief in the form of human trafficking, illicit movement of people. Now these are things that we need to become alive to. It was never that prominent for a long time. But with a very young population and with fairly high levels of unemployment, then we must start seeing the consequences of people trying to look for opportunities in other places. And in certain instances, then they fall prey to dangerous people or dangerous groups. So I would really want to encourage that from the diplomatic angle, let's have a campaign, a sustained campaign, to help our young people understand that not everybody has positive intentions out there. Yesterday, in our dialogue with ambassadors, which we do virtually, again on a quarterly basis, we received some scary data from some of our ambassadors on the number of Kenyans who are actually now in distress in different countries, some of which you are going to, by the way, some of which you people are going to. So it's definitely going to bring quite a bit of pressure to you, and it will call for concerted efforts. Unfortunately, when you're in government and in public space, you must be the one to be flogged. When these people make these adventures, they don't let you know. They don't give anybody notice. They sometimes don't even let their parents know. They just disappear. But when the heat is on, they start saying, where's the government?
Tesetai benkitab KCB koboisien kibagenge ak sugulisiek eng kanabtaetab somanet eng emoni. Kongololi eng tuyetab konetik cheechen chebo sugulisiekab primary notok Kepsha netesetai eng Mombasa, koma head of SME banking eng benki notok bo KCB Naomi Ndele kole nyolu keyai kit age tugul asikobit keker kele kanyor lagok tugul somanet. Ako notok kochobot benki notok bo KCB kobois ak sugulisiek eng kanabtaetab somanet. Kamandele kole asikosulda noto ko kikochob icheket tetutik chotok imuktechin sugulisiek kokonor ak konem rabisiek eng oret ne nyumnyum koboto tuget anan insurance nekararan.
We appreciate that the CBE is fundamental in building this nation. And as financial partners, we recognize the stretch you have as school heads to manage your finances in this transition. You need a school account with a partner who understands you, a partner who is able to facilitate your needs. Secondly, we understand the infrastructure challenge that you're going through, and for this, again, you need a partner who understands that kind of problem. So we have a very, very tailored solution to support the building of the school, whether a lab, whether a dining hall, and especially for those with boarding schools. We have asset-based finance, and if you look around the room, you will see banners and communication about what we do with the asset finance. School buses to support, lab equipment to support the CBE curriculum. Every manner of equipment can be supported through that asset finance. We also have insurance solutions, and partners here have spoken. We have KCB Intermediary Limited, which is an insurance company under KCB Group. They also offer insurance through the partners you have seen here. Be it fire, be it health, be it whatever it is you require for your school, KCB Insurance is there to support you. We have a very strong campaign this year for clean energy. Clean energy because it supports the environment and it supports the health. For the health of your students, for the health of your employees. We also have solar for lighting to reduce your costs on electricity. Do you have a partner who understands your pain? Talk to KCB today. We also have payment solutions. Today, there is all manner of information about school fees, what you need to pay. We are cashless. Talk to KCB for your payment solutions, be it a pay bill. We have Lipa Caro, we have ERP solutions. ERP is the way to go. Digital, digital, digital. Talk to KCB for those digital solutions. How many of our students? We have been able to support over 4,657 students since KCB Foundation started. We support students from senior school to tertiary education all the way until they graduate to the university level. Are you able to identify children who will benefit from this? Children who require this kind of support. Children who require this kind of support. Talk to our KCB Foundation team and we will be able to share with you how we have been able to pay 1.2 billion in school fees over the years.
Ketesetai kokaitita bunge nebo Senate eng karonetab rani Minister nebo Gender Ann Cheptumo ak Minister nebo Public Service Geoffrey Ruku asikwal tebutik cheterter kotinygei ak boisionik chetesetai kosuldae ministries chechwaket.
And Children's Services acknowledges the long-standing challenge of underfunding facing the State Department for Children's Services, formerly the Directorate of Children's Services, which has historically limited the State Department for Children's Services' ability to discharge its mandate of promoting and safeguarding the rights and welfare of children across Kenya. In light of this, the ministry, through the newly established State Department for Children's Services, has adopted a multi-pronged approach to advocate for increased budgetary allocations, ensuring that children protection financing is mainstreamed into national broader planning and resource mobilization frameworks. The key actions taken are as outlined before. High-level budget advocacy and engagement. In May 2025, the ministry held consultations with the Departmental Committee on Social Protection of the National Assembly to make a case for increased investment in children's services. A formal request was submitted seeking an additional 10 billion above what was earmarked for the financial year 2025-2026, and the justification is emphasized as below. The urgent need to scale up children protection service delivery in response to rising cases of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. The financial requirements for recruitment and deployment of additional children officers, the operationalization of new sub-county offices and mobile outreach services, and strengthening data management through the Child Protection Information Management System, known as CPIMS. The second action is integration of children services priorities in national planning frameworks. The ministry has ensured that the strategic priorities of the State Department for Children's Services are well integrated within the medium-term expenditure framework and are aligned to key national development blueprints, including Kenya Vision 2030 and its social pillar, the four-term Plan MT4 2023-2027, the bottom-up transformation agenda, particularly its focus on social protection, inclusion, and human capital development. These alignments aim at making children protection a national priority, thereby increasing the visibility and competitiveness of the funding proposals of the State Department for Children's Services during the national budget process. C, administrative restructuring for greater budget visibility. Following the recent restructuring, the State Department for Children's Services was separated from the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs. These have significantly enhanced the feasibility of the State Department for Children's Services, thereby revealing the deep need for greater budgetary allocation within the national fiscal framework to enable more targeted planning and resource allocation for child protection functions. The second action is budget estimate for 2025-2026. As per the ministry's recent submissions to the National Treasury in May 2025, the total budget estimate for the newly established State Department for Children's Services for the year 2025-2026 is Kenya shillings 12.318 billion. This is broken down as follows. The recurrent expenditure is 12.074 billion. And the development expenditure is 244 million. See the below for the detailed line items under the recurrent vote. I am sure that you already have that. So on the economic classification, compensation to employees is 1,167,867,643. Use of goods and services is 610,885,301. Current transfer to government agencies is 10,249,698,000. Non-financial assets is 45,625,350, making that total of 12,074,076,294. Then we have cash transfers to orphans, what we call OVC. This is orphans and vulnerable children, which is 9,130,736. The State Department is currently supporting 445 children, 516 households, 516 households as per the October 2025 payroll. So that is money that we receive and then we send directly to these families. So the total recurrent budget exclusive of personnel emoluments, that is PE, we have rehabilitation schools. The budget is 127,448,388. Then children's remand homes, 98,383,588. National Council for Children's Services is 81,117,000. Sub-county children's services is 44,192,375. Then we have children's services. We have the headquarters. 34,355,784. Headquarters emergency relief and refugee assistance is 330 million. Alternative family care services is 3,882,225. Child Welfare Society of Kenya 600,045,000. Counter trafficking in persons is 2,016,475. And presidential bursary is 100 million. The National Assistance Trust Fund, victims of counter trafficking, we have 13,500,000. Kenya National Children Assembly is 6.3 million. Kenya Child Helpline 116 is, that is an helpline that is open to all children, is 8 million. Children services at regional offices, 5,603,263. Cash transfers, which I already mentioned earlier, to is 9,130,736. 9,130,736,000. Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund is 180 million. Headquarters Administrative Services is 106,445,113. AIDS Control Unit 3,225,938. Information Communication Technology 10,786,813. Personnel Administration services is 3,225,938. Finance and procurement services 7,207,688. And central planning and project monitoring unit is 6,627,337, making a total of 10,909,434,589 Kenya shillings. We now go to the development projects. I will be able to mention the project and the approved budget for the year 2025-2026. Renovation of Meru Children's Remand Home is 1.96, that is in million. Construction of a kitchen and dormitory at Dagoretti Children Rehabilitation School, 15 million. Fencing of vocational rehabilitation centers and remand homes, 25 million. Renovation of Likoni Children Rehabilitation School, 10 million. Renovation of Nakuru Children's Remand Home, 11 million. Fencing of Ketathuru National Reception and Classification Center, 4.42. Renovation of Nyeri Children's Remand Home, 10 million, 0.54. Renovation of Manga Children's Remand Home, 3.68 million. Othaya Children's Rescue Center, 6,720,000. Renovation of Muranga Children's Remand Home, 7.88 million. Kericho Children's Rehabilitation School and Remand Home, 6.44. Fencing at the Othaya Children's Rehabilitation School in Nyeri is 6,630,000. Fencing of Kakamega Children's Remand Home, 4.71 million. Kakamega Children's Rehabilitation School, 9.6 million. Renovation of Mount Elgon Sub-County Children's Office, 1.59 million. Construction of Ijara Sub-County Children's Home, 2.6 million. Renovation of Muranga Social Development Office, 10 million, 0.23. And replacement of asbestos roofing and renovation of statutory children's one is 100 million. Then the medium-term budget projection for 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. The ministry is working closely with the National Treasury to ensure a progressive increase in child protection funding over the medium term. The projected budget requirement for the State Department for Children's Services is given in the table below. That is the budget requirement for children's services in 3 outer financial years. Financial year 2026-2027 projected budget allocation is 12 billion 56 million. 2027-2028 is 13.73 billion. 2028-2029 is 15.10 billion. That is progressive. It increases as the years go by. That is between 2026 to 2029. I will now proceed to answer question number 2. And the question was, what measures has the ministry put in place to ensure timely and full utilization of funds allocated for children welfare and protection through the Directorate of Children's Services and the Victims Protection Fund? Response. The ministry has implemented several operational and financial control measures. These are aligned with the best practices in Public Finance Management Act of 2012 to eliminate 2012 Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2005 and its regulations of 2020 and aim to eliminate delays and inefficiencies. The ministry has undertaken the following. 1. Timely approval of work plan, procurement plan, cash flow plan in financial year 2025-2026. Timely request of exchequer from the National Treasury. Timely approval of the planned departmental activities by the accounting officer and the AIE holders. Delays in approvals are tracked and reported to the Principal Secretary for action. Timely requisition of payments by sections and departments. And the ministry has consulted State Department for Public Work engineers and quantity surveyors for support to SDCs in preparing accurate and timely bill of quantities for its capital projects. Accounting officer has delegated authority to incur expenditure to heads of departments. AIE holders are empowered to approve payments within their limits, thus reducing bottlenecks. The Victim Protection Fund in Kenya aims to assist and support victims of crime and abuse of power. Established by the Victims Protection Act of 2014, the fund provides resources for victims, including legal and social services, and financial assistance for expenses related to their well-being. The Office of the Attorney General and the Department of Justice coordinates the function. The Ministry of Gender, Culture, and Children's Services also have responsibility over children's victims who are the most vulnerable and should be accorded priority treatment according to the Children's Act, Cap 141. The third question, which was, could the Cabinet Secretary also provide a breakdown of the number of children officers deployed to each of the 47 counties and specify the steps being taken to address the issue of officers being assigned to serve multiple counties simultaneously? Response. The breakdown of the number of children officers deployed to each of the 47 counties. As of June 2025, the number of children officers deployed nationwide to all 290 constituencies and to the 8 regions, 47 counties, and 353 operational sub-county offices was 714. This is shown in the table below. This is the list of all the counties. So in Baringo, the number of officers that are there are 20.
Honorable CS, you don't have to.
I don't have to read.
Yeah, because that document has been circulated. So just paraphrase it and conclude.
Yes, so I am guided, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the total number of officers in the 47 counties, looking at the grand total is 714, and shows the variance. You'll find some other counties have more, others have less, and also because of the geographical distribution, that is something that I will address in the next few minutes as I give the analogy. So the ministry acknowledges that it acknowledges the critical role that children officers play in safeguarding the rights and welfare of Kenya's children. In recognition of the urgent need to safeguard and strengthen the child protection workforce, the Ministry of Gender, Culture, and Children's Services, through the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizens Affairs, with support from UNICEF, commissioned a national workforce mapping report, official, which was launched in April 2025. This comprehensive exercise, initiated in 2023, analyzed the staffing status, deployment patterns, caseload, and operational gaps across the country, and the key findings from the report are summarized below. One is high child protection burden. From 2019, Violence Against Children survey, it was revealed that over 50% of children in Kenya experience violence before the age of 18, underscoring the magnitude of demand for child protection services. Then there is a severe staffing deficit. From the list that I gave earlier, which I read, currently we have 714 officers that are serving an estimated 18 million children nationwide. This translates to only 2.7 officers per 100,000 children, a ratio that falls significantly below both national needs and regional benchmarks. Operational and logistical challenges. The effectiveness of the officers on the ground is further hindered by inadequate induction and continuous training, unmanageable caseloads per officer, logistical limitations such as lack of transport and equipment, and uneven deployment, with some officers assigned to cover multiple counties, compromising service delivery. County-level deployment status. From the county-by-county breakdown of the deployment of children officers above, it is noted that The average number of officers per county is 15. Officers are present in 353 out of 407 sub-counties. Some sub-counties with high child populations are fewer than 5 officers. In at least 12 counties, children officers are responsible for more than 1 sub-county, leading to overstretched and burnout. Several sparsely populated counties are managed by a single officer, and in remote or sparsely populated counties, e.g. Mandera, Turkana, Samburu, and Lamu, some officers are covering multiple sub-counties due to workforce shortages. So the ongoing and planned interventions. So to address these workforce disparities, the ministry has initiated a series of immediate and long-term reforms as outlined below. Short-term to medium-term interventions. Recruitment proposal for the year 2025-2026. A proposal to recruit 500 additional children officers has been submitted to the Public Service Commission with the aim of reducing the burden on existing officers and eliminating multi-county, sub-county coverage by single officers. Targeted and equitable deployment, guided by the Ministry's strategic plan and operational data, staff rationalization will be prioritized in underserved counties and ensure station-based postings rather than regional assignments. Structured induction and training. We shall conduct comprehensive induction for recently recruited officers and continuous professional development for other officers to enhance the quality of child protection interventions at the grassroots. Digital workload management via CPIMS. The ministry is scaling up the Child Protection Information Management System to enable centralized